Hello. Are people there? Can people see me? Is this actually working? Hi, everybody. Can everyone hear me? Hello, Maggie. Oh my God, this is so weird. I've never done a live anything before. I've just got my project out. So, hello, Jessica, Emily. Hi, Rebecca. Oh, this is so cool. Hi, Carly. It's so cool to have you guys here with me, like, live. This is so exciting. I hope everybody has their stitching with them and also a drink of some kind. I have some tea. This is in a new Mrs. mug that Sean, Craftivating Creations, bought me for Nico and I's engagement. I guess technically I'm not a Mrs. yet, but I'm just very excited by the mug, so I've already been using it. That's probably bad, but thank you, Lauren. Hi, Emma. Hi, Judith. I had already started. I did a couple of stitches here. You can't even see this because it's like white on white. Basically, this is Butterfly Cloche by Loaf and Liz Matthews. I'm doing it on 40 count antique white. And I decided to do a middle start because it's like, obviously the cloche is kind of rounded at the edge, so I think it would have been too hard to count over. I tend to start in the top left, but so instead I've done a middle start. Oh, thank you, everybody. And wait, where is it at? I can't even tell. Oh yeah, okay. So I just did this tiny line right here so I would know where to count from. Starting on the wing of one of the butterflies. It's so tiny on 40 count. This is only the second time I've done 40 count. We're a second project. I don't know if you can see that even. It's kind of shadowy. There you go. Yeah. So it's like, what color is this? 3866. So it's like an off color. Thank you, everybody. Hello. I'm glad to hear people are stitching along. Yeah, definitely, Judith. I was concerned that I would like get on live and then I'd be reading the chat so much that I would like not know where to start my stitching. So I thought it would be easier if I just did that ahead of time. But I recently got this Caterpillar cross stitch needle minder that's like the cupcake, and I thought that seemed fitting for one of my birthday starts. It's kind of washing out because of the lamp. Let me like, oh, that made it way worse. Okay, we're just gonna have to go with it. Hopefully it's fine. I don't have my ring light out today, so hopefully it's not too bad. Thank you. Yeah, I love it too. It's really nice. I love their needle minders. I mean, obviously I've said that many a time here on my channel, but they're just really nice. And I know some people, I normally don't stitch in hand unless it's like a small project or something, but I just couldn't really figure. I just didn't want to bring my Lowry up here and get my whole like shebang kind of setup, so I'm just stitching in hand. But I know some people with these kind of like heavier needle minders don't like to stitch in hand with them, but it doesn't really bother me. And also I just like really like having needle minders and everything. Hi, Liz. Thank you. Here's my start on your chart. This like 5 stitches right there in the middle. I might should have started with the black, but instead I just went with this kind of, I don't even know what kind of a color it is. It's like tan. Oh yeah, homework for a savvy Abigail. Thank you all so much. This is so cool. I did put on my stories. Oh, thanks, Liz. Yeah, we actually went and had to get it resized this week in London because it was so too big. It was like spinning around on my finger and stuff, and it was making me very nervous. Oh God, I did forget my backing board. Maybe if I brought the board, I could see it better. Classic me. Will I ever have this board? Yeah, so I started just right in the middle there. It's just hard to see because it's like white on white basically, but oh, hello, Sally in Oregon. Oh, cool. Same needle minder yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, the Liz is saying that she likes the history of the ring, which is really cool. And actually this venue that it's like an Edwardian ring. We got it from this antique jewelry place. And we went to see a venue last weekend. Slight wedding chat. We went to see this venue last weekend, and it's this like Tudor kind of looking house. But while we were there, Nico asked the guy like what the history of the home was, and he said that actually it was a Edwardian house that was like a Tudor revival kind of, and we were like, oh my God, it's fate because of my Edwardian ring. So that was like a cool little I don't know what word to use for that, but it was cool. Cool little coincidence. Thank you everybody who's like just hopping on. This is very cool. I had put on my stories some like a little questions thing if people wanted to ask me anything. Let me pull it up, see if we got anything here. Oh my God, Costa Rica, Portugal. Jeez. Yeah, Liz, we are hoping to book it. It's very beautiful. Hopefully I can show more about it once we've like actually done it. Okay, so the first question that I had, and also you can put like questions in the chat if there's something you wanted to ask as well, was Rebecca asked me why I chose to study in the UK. I don't know if I've talked about this on my channel before, so yeah, no, that's a great question. I actually get it all the time in like real life because I am a, I study early America, but I like moved to England, right? So every time that there was like an orientation event where I meet new people for the first time and they ask me what I do, and then they're like, but aren't you like from America? Why did you come here? It happens every time. Essentially, when I was in undergrad, I went to William and Mary in Virginia, and I did a study abroad program right before my senior year, like a month before senior year. And I studied abroad in Cambridge, and it was like a 2-month thing, maybe. Yeah, I think we got there in June, and we left at the end of July. And I was at Christ College for my study abroad program, and it was literally the most wonderful experience of like my whole life. It was the coolest thing. I was just in awe of everything, essentially. I'd never been outside of the US at that point, other than like I think a cruise that my grandparents took me on when I was like 9, which I don't really remember that well. And it was just the coolest thing. And I had already been thinking about grad schools at the time, and because I was enjoying it so much, and I kind of had this same like gut feeling that I had when I went to William and Mary for the first time, and I was like, oh my God, this is my school. I kind of had that same feeling again. And so I started looking into like what kind of programs there were at Cambridge that would be related to early America. And I saw that there was a master's in American history. And I basically just like threw caution to the wind and applied for it. And very shockingly, I got in. And so I kind of just decided to take the plunge and move over here. I don't think I wasn't as, I guess if you like know anything about academia, there, like when you do these kind of grad programs and stuff, you're supposed to be like extremely knowledgeable about like all of the professors at every school and like who everyone's specialties is. And I wasn't really. I just wanted to go to Cambridge. So I didn't really, it ended up perfect though, because my advisor that I ended up working with is like the one person who does kind of something related to this that could advise me. So it like ended up kind of fate. But yeah, that's why I came over here. And also, Cambridge does have like a very good American history program for like an abroad university. And there's really cool like seminars and stuff. But also it was basically just because I wanted to live here, and then the rest kind of fell into place. But yeah, it's definitely not the easiest thing to move across the world. But in my case, it was definitely worth it. Let me check the chat here. Oh yeah, studying abroad in London. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I guess I met my husband here now too. My future husband. My sister studied abroad one summer as well in London. My younger sister, maybe like 2 years ago or something. So I was already here, and she came and visited me for a couple of days, and it was the coolest thing ever, to have her be over here. Oh, hi, Rebecca. That's cool. I'm glad you heard my answer. Yeah, Liz, I know what you mean about it being a regret. I had also wanted to study abroad in France because I took French all through high school and college and everything. I was a French minor, actually. So I do kind of regret not going to France, but I'm very glad I chose to go here. I didn't have, I wasn't a particularly well-off student, so I definitely wouldn't have been able to swing multiple study abroads. I did it all on loans and things anyway. Oh, Rebecca has a second question. Okay. What differences do you notice most living in the UK compared to the US? Ooh, that's a good question. I think in terms of like daily life, hi, Sean. Oh my God. I had no idea. Sean, you said you weren't coming. Oh my God. Okay. I've completely lost my train of thought now. I got so excited by Sean being here. Differences between the US and the UK. I think one of the most surprising initial ones is like the amount that you walk in the UK was a huge change for me to like have things be in walking distance. To be fair, Cambridge is like a city, so like it's more walking distance than other places. But you know, where I'm from in Virginia, like we drove an hour to go to the store. So like I was very surprised that everything is either like, you know, a train ride or like everybody walks everywhere and stuff. That was a big like, not culture shock, but like close enough to being a culture shock kind of level of a thing. Let me think of what else. Oh, if I can think of like things that I noticed a lot at the beginning, like toilets in England have like doors that go from the ceiling to the floor. And I think this is in like all of Europe. Whereas if you are from the US or you ever been to the US, you know, like if you go to a Barnes and Noble bathroom, there's like a gap at the top and a gap at the bottom. And I just couldn't believe that like every stall of every toilet was like its own secret room. When I first moved here, I was like absolutely floored by that. That's like a weird, silly thing, but that's something. There are a lot of faucets where water comes out of both ends. So like water comes out of the cold tap and then the hot tap. So if you want to have like lukewarm water, you basically just have to like keep switching your hands between the two taps. That was weird. Mostly in like older places that they have that still. But those are kind of like weird small things that I never expected to be different. Daily life wise, it's not like eons different. I mean, it's very weird as an American to have everything around you be old all the time. Because that's not, or at least like old, you know, like especially in Cambridge, this is like a medieval city. So all of the buildings I walk by are like from like the 1400s, which is, you know, predates everywhere that I lived in America. At least the modern buildings that would exist, not in terms of the actual land. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm checking the chat, and Lauren says that every time I say hello to people, her baby says hello back. That's so cute. Hello. Let me try to catch up on the chat. Yeah, we had one of my French classes. I took a French cinema. People are asking about the France thing and the study abroad, and Liz is saying she's trying to be fluent by her 40th. Yeah, we had a French cinema class that I took, maybe senior year or something like that. It was an interesting class, and there was like a trip that you could do over fall break to Paris for like a week and a half to visit all of these like movie sites and stuff. And I really wish I could have swung it, but it was like such a last minute thing and I couldn't afford it. I still have yet to go, actually. So I've still never been to mainland Europe, and I've lived in England for nigh on 4 and a bit years now, which is really unfortunate because basically when I moved here initially, I like was, you know, a poor young grad student and I had like nothing to my name and I couldn't manage to swing it. And now that we're a bit older and a bit more settled, it's been COVID for 2 years. So I still haven't really gotten to go much of anywhere other than some places around the UK, but I've still like never been to basically all of the north. I haven't really, which I would really like to, especially like I really want to go to York. I haven't been to Scotland, haven't been to Ireland, haven't been to literally anywhere. So that is something that we definitely want to do going forward as things hopefully continue to get better. Let me see if there's any other questions on Instagram. I have like multiple windows going here. Oh, this is an interesting one. Holly asks if I've ever had to wash ink out of a cross stitch pattern. I haven't. I have had to wash gunk off of a cross stitch pattern though. I had like one of my very first stitches that I did since picking it back up last spring or whatever. I was stitching it in this ginormous hoop, like a 10-inch hoop or something. It was back when I was still using hoops. And because I kept not like, it was before I, you know, was aware of like being careful of stuff getting on my stitching. It was pre-project bags, you know. So I just like had this hoop out, just like in the living room all the time, and I would just move it around and stuff. And by the end, it had just this like ginormous kind of like brown smudge on one part of it. No idea what that was. Oh, and I used to like not wash my hands when I had snacks and I touched my stitching. It was just really bad. So I had to wash that out. I got it mostly out, but it was an absolute nightmarish experience. So now I'm like particularly careful about how I touch my stitching and stuff because I did not really enjoy washing my stitching. I know some people like swear by it, but it just freaked me out too much. And it also like made my fabric fray a lot because it was before I could like zigzag the edges and stuff. So yeah, it was a dark time, but luckily I've never had to wash ink, and I've never like had fabric bleed or something, or like get like a big stain like from an iron or something. I haven't had that happen, thank God. Knock on wood, you know, knock on everything in sight. What else do we have over here? Am I up to date with the Hello Sunshine Sal? I'm not currently up to date. I think I'm like one release behind. I think I haven't done the little top bit with the dragonfly yet. I'm hoping to pull that out soon, but I just got the final chart for the Frosted Pumpkin Christmas wreath, so that has to take precedence because I absolutely love stitching on that, and I really want to finish it. Thanks for coming, Liz. Oh, I love your new charts, by the way. So excited. Ooh, Sam has just asked how I sew my edges. Yeah, so I think some people have like a serger or a machine that does serging. And I do not. My machine is too much of like a beginner machine. But what it can do is it has like changeable feet. And so what I use is I got an overlocking foot for my machine and I just overlock the edges. The difference between this and doing actual serging is that like a serger, while it overlocks the edge, which means, just like in case people didn't know, basically are you going to be able to see that? I don't actually know. It's trying to focus on my face. Okay. So can you see how like the top thread is actually looped through the bottom thread around the edge of the fabric? So that's what overlocking is. And basically with a serger, one part of it overlocks and the other part cuts off the edge. So it's like a perfect edge while it does that. With just an overlocking foot, it doesn't cut off the edge. So as you can see, there's still like some fluff on the edge of it, but it does the job. So I just put it on the like largest zigzag setting that I have. I don't actually have an overlock stitch. Some machines do have that. Mine, again, is too much of a beginner thing. So I just use the largest zigzag and then I just zag all around the sides. And it works perfectly. I haven't ever had an issue where it's like come undone or been too loose or something. I have seen some people say that they've had issues using overlocking foots on their machines before, but I've never had a problem. So that's how I do it. Super simple. It's the first thing I do when I'm like kitting up a project. Just because I did have a lot of issues before I started doing this where like my fabric would just fray to high heaven all around the sides. Even when I was still using Ada, it would fray and it bothered the heck out of me. Sorry, I'm just checking the chat again. Oh, another Christmas wreath stitcher. Yeah, I definitely am going to do my thing again when I do all the greens again first. I've like become addicted to that pattern now. And also I've seen some people doing that over on Instagram, which I'm like, oh my God, yay. Other people do that. Yeah, Hello Sunshine does have really cheerful colors. Oh, okay. Here's some, oh, thank you about my table runner. I absolutely loved working on that. It was actually more simple than it seemed if you're like a new quilter at least. I guess, I don't know. It might be too simple for someone who is more advanced. But considering that I have very little quilting practice, it was actually really easy because it was just half square triangles and then I just did them in strips and then put it all together. And I got in quite a rhythm, I think, with the half square triangles. And I think it was really good to get me to practice like being precise about a single line of stitching, you know, because you just sew across it and then cut. So that was really cool. Ooh, okay. So I've got some more questions in the chat. Oh, baby, it's cold outside. I like that chart. Someone else is doing a new start. It's Rebecca again. Hello. Okay, so how difficult is it to get supplies there? I assume you mean like in the UK, like stitching supplies. Is that what you mean, Ginger Giant? Or do you just mean like life supplies? They also ask me, what do I miss the most besides family and friends? Definitely family and friends is the number one. And the other main thing I miss about the US is the amount of choice that you have when you go into a store. Like if you go into the snack aisle in America, there's like 900 snacks. And if you go into the snack aisle in the UK, there's like 30 snacks. So like it's not that there's no choice, but there's just a lot less choice than I was used to, which is just something I've had to adjust. Okay, so they've confirmed it's stitching. Yeah. So I think in terms of stitching supplies, there are like very trustworthy stitching shops that I use. So like Patchwork Rabbit, obviously. I like Peakside Needleworks. I like Lakeside Needlecraft. There are a few other ones. There's Crete Nostalgia in Wales, which is good. What's the name of that other one? In Wales. Sean knows what I'm thinking about. Anyway, there are shops that have. I think Lakeside has more like kits and like DMC and all that kind of thing. And then there are shops like Patchwork Rabbit that have more of like the community designer kind of charts, like the famous charts. Nimble Thimble, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Melissa. And also Sean. Yeah, Nimble Thimble. They have a lot of charts, the Nimble Thimble. But I think in terms of what's difficult to get, I would actually say it's fabric is the thing that's harder to get here. I think with charts, we tend, oh yeah, arts and designs. Because I think in Scotland is also good, says Pauline. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Michelle, Mama Loves You GB, says that they do free shipping on charts, arts and designs, if you order like in the UK. But yeah, I think in terms of like charts, I've never really had that much of an issue because like shops can order charts if there was a chart that you wanted. I haven't had too much of an issue with threads either. Sometimes I have to go to like multiple stores to figure out who has the threads, but I think that's more of a COVID problem than a like England problem. But the bigger thing I think is fabric. I have a harder time finding a lot of the like fabric dyers that the US has. Just because they're not stocked here. Like I haven't found a place in the UK that stocks color and cotton, for example, or like Peakside just has recently got some fiber on a whim, so I'm excited to try that. But I think that that's been the bigger problem. I think it's also probably though significantly impacted by COVID due to the fact that like all hand-dyed fabric is like 6 months behind and stuff. And so then it takes longer to get over here. And then the Zweigart factory was shut down for like ever. And yeah, so I would say it's more so fabric. But I, have managed to find things eventually and get it from different shops. There are some shops in the US that have better like international shipping than other shops as well, if there is like a fabric that I really don't want to like compromise on. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the chat again. Yes, the Home Makery. Yes, I have bought Picture This Plus from them several times now, and I really liked that they have like a consistent selection of Picture This Plus. And also they're like specifically they stock PTP for frosted pumpkin charts a lot of the time. So if there are frosted pumpkin charts that you've been wanting to stitch, because Frosted Pumpkin uses like almost exclusively Picture This Plus in their designs, they have a lot in like fat eighths, which are kind of the size of the Frosted Pumpkin smalls. So that's a really good shout. Yeah, thanks, Pauline, for putting that in the chat. Thank you, Jenny. Let me see what else. Oh, the Witchy Stitcher. I've been meaning to stitch some Witchy Stitcher charts. There's one that I can't think of what it is. Maybe I'll mention in my next video once I've like gone through my Etsy favorites and remember which one it is. But I'd like to stitch something spooky, I feel, but I have Quaker pumpkins on the go. And since that has like the All Hallows Eve on it, I also am kind of counting that as a spooky chart. Although it's like an autumny spooky chart, but I'd like more Halloween pieces to put out as well. I don't really have that much of a like Halloween setup at the minute. I have more Christmas stuff than I do Halloween stuff. But I am a Halloween person. I'm not a non-Halloween person. Ooh, Sean asked if I'm excited for Needlework Expo. Yes, I am. Oh my gosh. Let me see if I can like list some charts that I really like so far. The hands-on designs one with like the stitching stuff on it, the one that's chalk talk but for stitching, absolutely obsessed with that. Will be buying that without a doubt. I really like Liz Matthews Rainbow, like what's it called, After the Rain. I love all the colorways that people did, especially Elizabeth Ann Stitches one and the Almond M&M silks. Those are beautiful. I really like that chart. I also like her Token of Fall one with the bird. I have a thing for birds, I think. I'm like, as time goes on, I feel like I really like bird samplers. And I don't know why, because like in real life, I don't like watch birds and stuff. But I just have a thing about like fictional birds, I guess. I don't know. That's a weird thing to say out loud. I have a thing about fictional birds. Put that on my tombstone. Yeah, so those two I really like. I also saw some of the Silver Creek ones. There's like an engagement-y one that's like, and so they built a life they loved or something. I like that one. What was that one I sent you, Sean, today? I like DM'd Sean another one of the Silver Creek ones. I really like that one. I feel like there's a lot of good ones. Oh, the heartstring samplery little set of the different pillows. I don't know what it's called yet. This is the problem, is I don't know the names of all these charts. I just know what they look like from Instagram. But the one that's like We Need a Little Christmas Now, the carol, but then on all of the individual pillows, I will definitely be getting that. Oh yeah, thanks, Sean. It's the Silver Creek one that says something like follow your heart, like on adventures or whatever, but take your stitching with you. I really like that. I think that's a cute sentiment. It would be cool to have like up in here or whatever, where you can like see it in my videos. And I can see it when I'm working, because this is the office. I feel like I've said that this is the office before. Everyone's saying the blue flower sampler. I don't think I've seen this. Oh, the Tiny Modernist Moth one, 100% Emma. Also, I saw that. Did anyone else see that and like immediately think of the Stitchy Reader? It looks so like her colors to me. I feel like with other Flosstubers, I like get an idea for like what their style is, or like what I think their colors are, and then I just like think of them that way. I don't know, do other people get that? I feel like I get that with like people that I watch. Also, speaking of butterflies and stuff, Emma, the one that you're stitching, like the full coverage with the butterfly on it by Hannah Disney or whatever, I absolutely love that chart. The moth one we're talking about is this one. I don't know if y'all have seen that. It's from Tiny Modernist. Is it gonna only focus on my face? 100% will only focus on my face. Okay. Let me find what was that? Oh, I'm looking for the blue flower one. That's what I'm looking for, because everybody's mentioning that and I have not seen this. Let's see. Is it on the Expo Instagram, or should I be going to the blue flower? Moonlight. Okay, Moonlight. Blue flower. Oh yeah, I did see this one. I really, they're talking about this. Can you see this? I absolutely love this owl. I love the color palette as well. So pretty. I think it said, in case you can't read it, it says Though my soul may set in darkness, it will rise in perfect light. I have loved the stars too fondly to be fearful of the night. That's really nice. I love the color scheme on that one. Also, I love an owl, me, as you know. So yeah, I think those are the ones that I'm currently like have my eye on. I definitely really want to get the hands-on design stitching talk one though. Yeah, I know the owl. It is a me thing. I wish that I haven't seen on Patchwork, because I would be like inclined to pre-order stuff from Patchwork Rabbit. I haven't seen them put up any of the like pre-order listings yet, so I'm wondering if I need to wait until like after next weekend. Puntini, I do love her chart, especially the like the word ones. I think eventually, because I feel like everybody has this kind of thing, but I am sort of figuring out what eventually I want to be my like monthly calendar kind of stitch. Everybody has one of those, and I do like the Puntini ones. I like the font that she uses for the month. I'm kind of like picky about fonts sometimes. I mean, I like a lot of fonts, but sometimes I feel like if I don't necessarily love the font on a piece, I can get disinclined to stitch it. Willow Fabrics. Okay. Do they have like a Zweigart selection? I've looked through the Wool Warehouse has a very good Zweigart selection here in the UK. If people haven't used them before, they have a lot of the like weirder colors of Zweigart. I don't know that weird is the right word, but they have like the greens or like the purples and stuff, rather than just like 5 shades of white. So I've found some good stuff from there. Okay, so they do have that. All right, cool. I'll check that out. Yeah, I think I've come across them before, but I don't think I've ever actually purchased from them. I've recently seen that there's some new fabrics just went up on Peakside, but they have closed their shop for like a holiday or whatever. So I think that they're having like a much needed family holiday. So they've closed to orders, but I'll probably place an order for a couple of things then, because I've been buying a lot of charts with my birthday money. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat. Oh, Sew It All has all fabric flare. Wow, I didn't know that. I know Lakeside has some fabric flare, but I have done 3 stitches since we started this 40 minutes ago. I remember Liz, like Elizabeth Ann said that in one of her first lives, that like she didn't stitch anything, and I was like, oh, that can't possibly be true. It's true. It is very true. Because I'm having too much fun talking to everybody. To be fair, I'm kind of like that in real life. I have a tendency to, like, if I'm out to dinner or something, I'll just like talk the whole meal, and then everyone else is finished eating and I am still like on bite 2. I've seen some people put in the chat what they're stitching on. What's everybody stitching on? Did other people do new starts for the birthday start sale? I have envisioned it as being a thing that like is a hashtag that can go on forever, basically, for just when people do a birthday start. To be honest, I couldn't believe that hashtag didn't already exist. But oh, Sean is asking how my birthday was. It was really, really nice. So my actual birthday was on Monday. and we decided sort of last minute-y to go to London to get my my ring resized because it was just way too big. It was like, well, once we got there, I had a feeling, just like this gut feeling that I was gonna lose it, because it just felt too big, and I was like, maybe I'm wrong. Like I don't know that much about rings and stuff, but I was like, I just feel like it's too big. And then we went there, and of course the guy said it was 2 sizes too big, and like I should be concerned. And I was like, okay, good. I was glad I'm right. I was right on that one. But anyway, so the place that we got the ring from is in London. So we decided on the Monday to go up to London. My love rock. Yeah. um, we decided to go up to London to like drop it off and get it resized. And while we were there, we booked a table at this very nice French bistro that was just literally like 2 doors down from the ring place, and they had outdoor seating because I'm still only doing things outside because I'm immunocompromised and I just Delta. So, and it was actually going to be the first time that I'd eaten outside anywhere since March 2020. So I felt very, we got all dressed up and everything. And so we had lunch at this place and it was absolutely amazing. If you are in London and you're looking for a place to have lunch at, like a fancy kind of lunch, we went to Bleeding Heart Bistro in Farringdon, and it was really, really good. They were doing like a set course kind of deal or whatever on Mondays in the summer. And I was like, perfect, because it's Monday in the summer. And so it was like 3 courses for £27 or something, which was really nice for like a birthday lunch. We were like, that's good value. So I got gazpacho, and then it was a very good gazpacho. It had like fresh made croutons, and then I had this really good fish cake and strawberries with freshly made cream and like a sugar glaze and stuff. It was so good. It was such a nice time as well for us to like be on a date, kind of. We had like a date somewhere. We've had dates in the house, but it's not quite the same, is it? And then once we went back home, because we just took, like, the train was like completely empty, which I was like, thank God, and we didn't have to go on the tube, which is good because I was panicking about having to go on the tube. So luckily we managed to not go on the tube. And then we got home kind of mid-afternoon, I think, and we played board games for the rest of the day. We've recently got a game called Gloomhaven, which Sean knows about. And so we played some Gloomhaven, and it was really nice. And then I think we watched Love Island. So it was a classic me theme today. Oh, I'm seeing what people are stitching now. Winter bell pull. I've been thinking about doing the Christmas rules from Lizzie Kate at some point. I like the idea of having some kind of like bell pull to hang on the wall at Christmas. Yeah, it was a really nice day. It was really nice. Halloween Quaker. I really like that chart. It's a cool chart. Is there one from like every holiday? I know there's Christmas Quaker. I feel like a lot of people are working on winter stuff as well. I feel like I just like, I'm just too excited by Christmas things at the minute. Like I just keep stitching Christmas. I know it's not seasonal at all, but I feel like in some ways I am a seasonal stitcher, and then in other ways I'm really not a seasonal stitcher. Like I will stitch Christmas anytime. But in terms of like actual like would I stitch summer in winter, I don't know, but I will stitch Christmas anytime. Oh yeah, I like that Stitcherovia Santa piece. I did the well, I guess I don't know if obviously not everyone has seen this video. Sometimes I think that like everyone has seen every video I've done. I don't know why I think that. I did the oh, Santa's rock. Oh crap, what was it called? It has a different name on Readly versus on her Etsy shop. The one with it's like Santa is on this big sleigh and he's like riding. It's a Stitcherovia piece. Anyway, she has one that's kind of like a companion piece that has a similar looking buildings that I think I could kind of like put them next to each other. I thought about doing that one before. I really enjoyed that Stitcherovia piece. I really like the way that Stitcherovia uses like color blends and stuff. Not like blended threads, but like the way that she designed colors to look like they've blended into each other without using overdyes and stuff. I think she's really talented. It probably partially because she's like was a graphic designer first, so she's just really good at color. Oh, from the heart. I was thinking of Lila B. I think. I'll have to check that one out. I was thinking of the wrong one. Spirits and Spells by Brenda Gervais. Yeah, I want to get some Halloween pieces too. I really like the Fright This Way series that Hands On Design has been putting out. You know, like there's like it's like a bit like bunting, and there's like Toil and Trouble and whatever. I like those. Really enjoying that. Let's see, where is this supposed to go next? If anyone wanted an update, I have done that much. So basically nothing. But I'm working on the wing of one of these central butterflies here. I would show you, but I have it on Pattern Keeper, so it's literally just the chart. I really like that Liz Matthews' designs work seamlessly in Pattern Keeper without me having to like mess with them. Sometimes, you know, you have to like help Pattern Keeper see the grid and stuff, and I don't ever have to do that with this. Not like that's too big of an issue, but it's just nice. Oh, the Modern Folk Embroidery one. I absolutely love that chart. I don't know if I'll ever actually stitch it. Maybe someday. It's a big commitment, but I love the colors that people do for it. I really like the color palette that the Stitchy Reader is doing for it, like the pink and the red. I think that's really pretty because it's kind of like more of like a dusty pink, which I really like dusty pink, like as a color, personally. I really like the Country Cottage Needleworks winter patterns. I just today at midday finished the Glitter Village Part 1. So if anybody's seen my Insta post about that, I literally posted that like 2 minutes after finishing it because I was so excited. Oh, cool! Stitches Costa Rica. Yay, twinsies. But yeah, I'm really enjoying stitching Glitter Village actually. It has some French knots and stuff, and I think normally I would wait to do French knots until the end, but I just felt like on the snowman. I don't know if you saw it. There's like this little snowman, and they have his eyes and his like little rocks on his tummy, pieces of coal, whatever it is, are French knots. And I would normally wait until the end, but he just looked so sad without his eyes and stuff that I just did them anyway. And I was like, if they get messed up, I'll do it again. Am I stitching on linen? Yes. This is 40 count antique white. I would have done it on 36. I think the sample for Butterfly Cloche is in 40 count, but I probably would have gone for 36 count, except for it would have ended up being a bit bigger than I would want. I think with this, it comes out to be like 8 1/4 by 9 and something. It's kind of a bigger chart. And if I had done it the other way, it was going to be like 10 by something. And I was like, I don't know if I want to get a frame that big. So I decided to just go for the 40 count. Oh yeah, Sean is saying she can't believe I finished it already. I literally have stitched nothing else. I just stitched exclusively on that. Uh, yeah, I've really enjoyed stitching them all together. I was actually thinking about it because, you know, the way that they designed it, if you do want to do all 9 on one thing, is to like do it as a big square, which is how I'm doing it. But it would be kind of cool to do it as like a really long piece. You know, like when people have little Christmas villages that they set up and it's all like as if all of the houses were on one street. That would be cool. I feel like it would end up being really long, though. I don't know if it would be too long, but that would be a cool way to do it. Oh, which fabric did I use? I'm doing Glitter Village, you mean? Yeah, I'm doing Glitter Village on the called for, so it's 32 count raw silver from Zweigart. It's basically the same as opalescence, the ones that have it, like the ones that Picture This Plus has, where it's like threaded through the fabric, except for instead of being like a blue-green kind of sparkle, it's like a Krynic silver kind of sparkle. It's extremely sparkly. Like very, very sparkly in person. It does not show up on pictures. I tried for like 10 minutes to get it to like actually look glittery, but it just wouldn't do it. But it's really beautiful fabric. I really like it. And the raw, it's basically like the same color as natural or raw, but then just with this like silver sparkle running through it. And the design also uses metallic gold from Auvert-Soie. So it's like there's a sparkly gold and the sparkly silver in the chart. It's very glittery. I love it. Yeah, 18 count Ada with butterfly cloche would be great. I just tend to stitch on linen. Thank you from the Netherlands. I wish I knew where like everyone was at. Maybe YouTube will tell me later like where everybody was from on this. Yeah, it's really hard to pick. I don't have an LNS either, so I just order everything online, and it does lead to like sometimes I don't. Like there have been times where I've ordered things and been like, well, that won't work for this, and then it just has to go in the stash, and you have to get something else. I had recently bought. One of the other charts that I was hoping to start for my birthday, because I was going to do like 3 starts, was the Lighthouse Lighting the Way from Silver Creek. And I had bought some fabric from Number 12 Stitch Co. in Australia, which arrived very quickly. And it was beautiful. It was this like, it's this kind of purpley gray. Actually, the ornament that I put on Instagram today, that is on that fabric. And I thought I wanted to do that on it, but when I sat down to start it, I decided that I didn't actually think that it worked for the kind of like stormy clouds that I wanted for the lighthouse. So I've just ordered some new fabric for that one. But yeah, it's because I couldn't see it in person. I thought it would work, but it didn't. New Zealand. Oh my God, is it tomorrow there, I guess? Yeah, it must be. Nico's parents live in Sydney. But that would be several hours behind you in New Zealand, I think, still. It's like a 3-hour flight, isn't it? I'm not sure how that would be time zone wise. Yeah, my chart wish list. My wish list is growing by the day with all these expo releases. I'm racking up such a list of Christmas charts as well. I feel like for the latter half of the year, all I'm going to be stitching is Christmas. The amount of Christmas charts I've bought. Because like several of the expo ones, like I really want the heartstring samplery one. Yeah, it's not going great there. Luckily, his parents both had their vaccines within the last few weeks, finally. So it's been a different kind of rollout there in Oz. Ooh, Canada, Pennsylvania, people everywhere. It's so cool. It's so cool that this community is just, like, all over the world, isn't it? I'm trying to figure out where I'm supposed to be going next on this chart. That's that one. Okay. Mark is complete. Sometimes I forget to mark things as complete as I go on Pattern Keeper, and then I've like gone too far, and I'm like, oh man, what did I do already? What haven't I done already? Worcester and Washington, very W places. That's a weird thing to say. Never mind, ignore me. What W places? Oh my god. Bristol, yeah, I would like to go to Bristol. Oh, cool. I've never been to Canada. I've been to New York, but I've only been to New York City. I only went once though. I haven't been to New York like often. It was very cool. I saw Matilda on Broadway. A very cool day. When I went to New York, I mean. It was ages ago. When did I go? 20 maybe 2014. Long time ago now. Although that also feels like it would be yesterday. Weird how time passes when you get older. Oh, hello in Hawaii. I've always wanted to go to Hawaii. Sorry, I'm actually just putting a few stitches in. Can you believe? I've been meaning to start this chart for so long. Oops, missed one. Got a frog. This is only one stitch. With the Christmas wreath, the frosted pumpkin wreath, I'm going to do my greens again. And I'm like deeply concerned that I'm going to do all the greens first and I'm going to get to the very bottom of the whole chart and then be like off by one. And like having nightmares about that, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I'll just quadruple count everything. Oddly, I haven't really had any issues with doing it that way other than like once. Oh, sorry, I'm a bit of a thread licker. Hopefully that's not gross. I just feel like I can never get it to like go fast enough if I just use my fingers. Okay, problem solved. The frog is gone again. Goodbye, frog. It was very funny the first time I told Nika what frogging was. He was like, why would it be a frog? And I was like, ribbit, ribbit. And then he was like, oh my God. You cross stitchers and your acronyms. I've never done an activity before that had so many acronyms, but stitching really does have a lot of acronyms, I feel. Thank you for coming. Sorry, some people are leaving. I guess I'm trying to think. I hadn't really thought about how long to do this for. Maybe like another like 10 minutes or so, and then we'll call it for the night. I don't really know how long to do a live for. Again, I've never really done something like this before. If people enjoy it though, it would be nice to do it a little more often on my channel. I've had a very good time. I don't know how it feels from the viewer's perspective. Sandy says if you thread lick, you don't have to initial because you've left your DNA behind. That's really funny. I'm already I am one with the fabric now. Yeah, the acronyms got me confused. I remember the first time that I watched Flosstube was, oh my God, I don't know, like May? No. Yeah, maybe like May 2020, maybe. Yeah. And the reason why I came across it, I think I said, maybe I've told this story before, but basically I was looking up how to pre-cut thread, like for projects. And I'd never done it that way before. I'd always just cut straight from the bobbin, but my bobbins were annoying me. So I was like, I wonder what it would be like to do like pre-cutting thread. And so I found a tutorial thing from Crafty Gaming Jamie. I don't know if you watch her. And it was like how she pre-cuts her threads or whatever. And then I saw that in the title, it said like Flosstube. And I was like, what's Flosstube? And then like, I started watching some of her other videos that said Flosstube where she like showed her projects and stuff. And I was like, whoa, I didn't know people did that. And then, but I remember like she used so many acronyms, especially because she's like a full coverage stitcher. So she was all like, oh yeah, I'm doing this 2/1 on, 25 count, and then I'm doing this one 2/2 on whatever count. And I was like, I didn't know there was other counts. Like, what is 2/2? And I was like, Googling. I'm like, 2 what? I had no idea what anything meant. But then I feel like the more videos I watched, I like got, in on the lingo, and then I started using the lingo, and I was like, oh yeah, I know what a whip is. Like, look at me. I'm all fancy now. Yes, I do think it's true that the larger the number, the smaller the needle. Because 28, like needle size 28 is smaller than a 24. I'm using a 28 here on 40 count, but when I stitch on like 28 count and even 32 count, really, sometimes I will use a 24 count because I don't mind having a thicker needle going through the fabric. But I mean, I think it's personal preference. Sean says, what's my favorite whip now that I've started some new ones? Ooh. To be honest, it's probably still Christmas wreath, but that one's going to be a finish. Unfortunately, very soon. Well, I mean, fortunately, yay, because finishes, but like, I'll really miss stitching on that one. I wonder what my favorite is other than that. Maybe Tulip House. I really do like Tulip House. I haven't pulled it out recently, though. I feel like I really like all of my whips, but then I like whenever I see my whips again, I feel all sad. I'm like, oh, I've missed you. But then I just start more ones. So yeah. I really like Glitter Village as well, though. I'm very excited about that. Although it is a whip, but it's also like in my mind, it's also still a new start because I like just started it a couple of days ago. getting very dark here. Tends to be pretty light at this time of day here, but I think fall is coming here in England. It's been a bit cooler. Sean's asking if I have a plan with Glitter Village or if I'm just gonna like stitch it when I want. I've thought about, I think when I do pull it out, my plan is to like keep it out until I finish the square. That's what I just did with this. You know, I worked on it for like 5 days or whatever, and I finished a square. I think that that'll probably be my plan with it. I don't know if I have a schedule for like when I'm going to pull it out though. Maybe like once a month, every couple months, I don't know, something like that. Hopefully I would like it to be, it obviously won't be done for this Christmas, I don't think. But maybe for like the next Christmas, that would be cool. Oh, thank you, Abigail. I'm glad it was fun. Yeah, I got a lot of little Christmas charts and stuff. I am going to need to make a schedule for all these Christmas starts I'm planning to do in the next few months. I mean, I literally have like 10, I think, that I want to start. So I'm going to have to make some kind of list for that. My whip count has grown considerably since I found Flosstube. Oh, the days when I stitched one thing at a time. But I feel like I really like the idea of like knowing that a project is a whip so that I can already say that I've started it. Yes, Sean and I did start the popcorn one. I was waiting to show it until my next like full Flosstube before I showed it on Instagram. But yeah, we did start it. I'm in the middle of some of the words, so I think I have a lot to say. Maybe you should or something like that. Like, so it should get popcorn. Or actually, no, I'm on popcorn. I went further than that. Yeah, I'm on the second P of popcorn now. And then I'm saving the like big popcorn bag for last. But I don't know how far Sean has gotten. Maybe she can tell you in the chat if she's still here. I'm really liking that chart. I'm glad that we decided to switch out the orange for a more red kind of color. Oh, Sean says I'm further than her. Okay, sorry. I don't want to make you feel bad. I haven't stitched it more since the last time we talked about me stitching it. I've put it away for a bit because I wanted to start Glitter Village, basically. Ooh, patchworking and quilting. That sounds really fun. Have a good time. Thanks, Judith. Yeah, I think people are starting to head out. I think we'll probably sign off here as a group in a minute or two. I'm so glad everyone came, though. This has been lovely. Even though, you know, my stitching has been minimal. We got this far. But it does show up better in person on the fabric than it's looking like that, but it will be like blocked around by the 310 as well, so it will be easy to see. Thank you, Samantha. Well, hopefully we can do this again soon. I don't know, maybe next time I'll have like more like pre-planned activities or something. This was kind of just regular stitching and chatting, but we could always, you know, if people had like ideas of things they would want me to do on live, like show how I stitch, or I don't know, you know, we can discuss that as a group at some point. But thank you all so much for coming and spending time with me, spending a little stitchy time with me, as I would say, on my on my videos. It's been really nice to, be reading in the chat and like feeling like you all are here stitching with me. Can I dance? Yeah, I'll do some kind of interpretive dance the next time. Get ready. But yeah, thank you all so much for spending some of my stitchy birthday with me. I wish I had a cat. Unfortunately, we haven't managed to get a cat yet because of our landlord, but fingers crossed in like a year or so we will be able to get a cat. But yeah, thank you all so much for coming, and I will see you soon in a regular kind of Flosstube update where I can show you everything I've been working on, and hopefully we can plan another one of these soon. Love you guys. Happy Saturday. Bye. Good night. How do I end it? Oh no. Oh, end stream. Okay. Now bye. Bye.